The black community has always been setting the trends, but people don't want to give them any of the credit. And you'll hear people say, but the gays, where do you think the gays got it from? Black women. I see a lot of non-black lesbians try to emulate masculinity by acting like a black guy. And on the flip side of things, you see a lot of non-black gay men try to act like black women. And the thing is, black people have been saying this time and time again, but people don't want to listen to them. And shit, while we're on this topic, isn't that how K-pop started? Like, Korea sent over a bunch of music executives to the United States just to study the 90s era of music and the popularity, which was heavily influenced by hip hop culture and R&B. And they took all of those successful elements and then implemented it in their music. And boom, K-pop came about. And that's why you see a Korean guy with dreadlocks and cornrows. And people are like, no, they're not copying. Come on. Just to wrap it up, it's gone so much deeper than just copying at this point.
Yeah. All I need is something way far from Billy, because Ukraine is not our responsibility. Hey! Welcome once again to the beatzillapdx official show. I am your host, beatzillapdx officially, and this is the midweek report, news break edition. So that means that this broadcast is tape delayed. But with that being said, we are here. Hopefully everybody is doing well. So as you are coming into this broadcast, if you could, please hit that like button, share this out on your social media if you would, subscribe to this channel, and also you can become a member of this channel by joining. Now, if you're watching on X, make sure you get over here to the YouTube channel, beatzillapdx official on YouTube, because not all of the videos on this channel air on X. So if you're there, get over here and subscribe, hit that notification bell, hit the word all. That way you'll be notified anytime this channel does go live or a video is uploaded or premieres, you know? But with that being said, today we are talking about silly Billy Porter. And there's new news about Kamala's family tree. Or is it a family tale? But yeah, I guess The verdict is still out on that, but there's been some interesting revelations coming out here as of late. And I'm sure that mainstream media is trying to figure out a way how to get their shields out here to respond quickly. But clearly it's not going to be quick enough. So, with that being said, I guess we'll get straight on into Billy Porter. So, of course, we're talking about this election. And a lot of people are most definitely understanding where Black America is these days. And this is 2024. You have midterm elections just 2 years away from now. And 4 years from now will be a whole nother matured voting class that they will have to contend with. Notice how now you have 12 million plus illegal aliens in this country, and they're trying to figure out paths to citizenship. There's a reason that they're using those folks and getting those folks here. And truth be told, it kind of goes back to slave labor. But with that being said, Billy wanted to know, what are we undecided about? Well, Billy, I can tell you I'm not undecided. See, here's the problem. A lot of people tell you they're undecided means that they do not automatically want to vote for Trump. But something in their spirit has them compelled not to support Kamala Harris. I'm not mad at that at all, because that tells you something about the American intellect. It's called intuition. And up until this particular election, everybody in America understood people have their own intuition. And now when it comes down to Kamala Harris, Black people have no sense of anything, because we must be taking all of our cues and talking points from the white men, the white racist anti-Black men that we admire so much. At least that's the story that they'll tell on why we aren't supporting the Democrats. However, that's of course not true. But here's also the other point. You're talking about straight males, and then you chase straight males down using people like Billy Porter. Billy Porter hasn't even looked down to chase down a Black mate, let alone represent Black manhood. He doesn't do any of that. And when I say Black manhood, let me clarify something, because this is something that gets missed often, and too many of these Billies get a chance to speak. When you talk to a Black man such as myself, I'm one person that represents at least 4 people, myself included. So it's not just one Black man. That's a Black household. That's a part of a community, and you need families for communities to thrive. However, right now we have a eugenicist presidential nominee, the tan Caucasian woman, who is now talking about doing away with the filibuster so she can reinstate Roe v. Wade. Oddly enough, if she was going to do away with the filibuster to reinstate Roe v. Wade, then why is she not taking that same exact energy to reinstate affirmative action? To which her Asian counterparts had a ton of hand in dismantling. And with that being said, not that we were ever touting affirmative action, but I'm just saying is one of those things that they have. Roland Martin, these people use these things as talking points for Kamala's support. So if she's going to be on the trail right now, making the promise of what she's going to reverse from the Supreme Court, why is that not affirmative action? I need somebody to tell me. And Billy, you need to address that part if you're going to ask what we're undecided about. Where's that anti-black hate crime bill? We don't have that. There's no talk of that. Matter of fact, there's no talk other than her being black about black people. See how they did that? Kamala's black, so we don't have to talk about black folks at all. That's one of the most dangerous moves that we have seen in a long time. And every Negro pushing that is a traitor. They do not have black empowerment in their mind. They have subservient submission, but broken natured spirit and energy. And that's all they have to offer. These people are not equipped, ready, nor have the guts to fight for empowerment. So these people should not be speaking for and in place of the people that are actually fighting, seeking, moving toward advancements of black empowerment. And we need to move away from these individuals, which we already have. So why does Billy Porter even feel compelled to open his mouth? And not only that, I'll just let y'all determine from the pictures on the screen what he may be going through in his own little personal situation right now. Also, Billy, you know, if you're going to be out here, I'm assuming this is a genuine look that you went for. So if you wanted to look like a blonde white woman from the 70s with braids, then maybe perhaps you kind of are pulling that off. However, next time before you get on camera, make sure your glasses are straight, because that also kind of gives the impression of those not being authentically designer. But maybe I'm just wrong, and maybe you need to get your designer glasses adjusted, and maybe that's just why they're crooked and lopsided. But who knows? But with that being said, family, without further ado, let me go ahead and let you hear what Billy has to say to the undecided. And let me first say, again, thank you guys for tuning in this evening. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon each and every one of you, except for this dude right here.
Today, on the Highline Chronicles, y'all know I'm very political, and so I'm going to talk politics for a second. Undecided about what? Undecided about what? That's all I'm gonna say. Pull y'all shit together. It's democracy or not, and we all know that. It's democracy or not. They saying the quiet part out loud now. When people show you who they are, believe them the first time. We did not. Many people held their noses and voted for him. People who know better. Twice, some of them. And now they writing books. Now they scared and they writing books. And you know who they are. I'm a name names later. I'm trying to not. I'll name names later. I'm trying to be nice today. But y'all know who I'm talking about. You people in positions of power let this happen. You held your noses and you voted for that man. Some of you twice. And now, he doesn't deserve to be anywhere near the office. He never deserved to be anywhere near the office, and y'all knew that the first time. You're not heroes. The people who I'm talking about, you're not heroes. Undecided about what, people? Undecided about what?
Okay. Undecided about what? Well, I'll tell you, Billy, we done addressed some things before we played this video. So we do understand what we're undecided about. And as Black Americans, you should never be questioned when somebody tells you, when you are talking to them, they come to Black folks, this is their message to Black America.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No.
Yeah, that's a problem. So yeah, Billy, that's not gonna work. And then the people that they turned on, they have personal issues with Donald Trump. I am not here for a personal issue. This is an election. This is business. And we are voting for the wallet, not the emotion, not the joy, not the feel-good feeling, which obviously looks like you need a new way of feeling good, Billy. Because right now, you're looking like a smoked out holiday heart. And yeah, I'm sure probably just like, don't he though? Don't he? Tell me this dude don't look like a smoked out holiday heart. That's right, honey. Speaking of smoked out holiday heart, real quick, did y'all see the conservative sister Michaela? Did you see her run up on old Roland Martin? Did y'all see that? Hey, Roland, manly men do not say, girl, bye. What? What? Girl, bye. Straight men, manly men, heterosexual men, Roland Martin, do not do that. Girl, bye. Ooh, girl. Man, let me tell you something. No. I can't even imagine that rolling off of my lips. Girl, bye. That whole bye thing, that right there, for me anyway, just feels sassy anyway. So, girl, bye. And then just saying that little sassy moment is chased up by Roland Martin's glitch moment, where you saw naked bare male cheeks on Roland Martin's computer. I mean, it reminds me of a glitch that we seen a few years back from a person who's no longer with us and had somebody snuggled up in the bed. Something about the way StreamYard works is that it'll only pan to the cameras you're using. And when you have those windows that you're using, I don't even know why you would have that window up and even possibly in a position to come on your broadcast. That's kind of crazy, but I guess that goes to show Roland Martin got a little bit of Jeffrey Tubin in him. Oh, Lord. Anyway, so I wanted to touch on the silly Billy part and also people of his ilk that have this disdain for Black folks who won't go along. And let's just be clear, that's what it really is. You're rocking the boat. You're making them feel nervous about their white company and friends that they're around because, the more that real Black topics start getting out here, then their white friends start asking them about what they think about things. And, these are terrifying moments for cowardly individuals like Billy Porter. He's gladly being used and buck broken against his own people, but he's already admitted that. So what I really don't understand is why he would even come around asking any type of questions about undecided. Billy, don't you know ain't nobody listening to you unless this conversation is geared towards the LGBTQ community, which I would really be like, damn, y'all ain't. Well, actually, in all honesty, where are the trans groups for Kamala? I haven't seen. Is it me, or did all the trans groups disappear after the Black Lives Matter was getting some run? Where the hell are all these trans groups? I mean, I know they keep juicing up these shooters, but I mean, besides the mass killing and shootings that that the trans community has kind of sparked, these people don't want to take credit for the violence that they actually incur or they spark off. But then they'll turn around and be like, all we heard for years, Trump and January 6th, and he's responsible. Two assassination attempts within a summer. And none of these Democrats who keep repeating the same lies want to take responsibility now for inciting violence. But the stuff that they'll say, they'll act like, oh, no, it's nothing of the sort. Number one, to consistently lie about Donald Trump's Project 2025. That right there is a lie. So you want people to be scared of something that is not true. It's not his plan. You could say advisors that used to work for him, that's their plan, the person at the Heritage Foundation and whoever. But one thing you can't keep doing is saying that it's his when it is not. And that's all they keep doing. Project 2025 is a threat to democracy, a threat to democracy. Man, there's no Democrats saying anything dangerous over here. Oh, you think so? This woman works for Kamala Harris right now. What does this sound like?
What he says is the opposite. It's just another lie. Like, how did we get here? Let's extinguish him for good. We have an answer. We have a remarkably talented candidate who is sincere, who's pragmatic, who's open. Let's just get it done.
That in itself is okay. So she says, let's extinguish him. In all walks of life, I would have to say, when you're talking about extinguishing a living being, isn't that referring to harm? When would that not be considered as referring to harm? But this is what they keep doing, and it's been allowed. This is dangerous. And I want to say, because today it's Trump. Tomorrow it's black men. You understand what I'm saying to y'all? Today it's Trump. Trump is a threat for all of the next 2 months. Who is it next? Who's the next person that once they've realized that you can do all of this lying and the media's on board with it? Hope you understand, family. This is the warm-up to coming after the grassroots. Don't take this lightly. And oh man, you guys look too much into things. You think so? You really think so? Think of it now. They want to make our concerns Donald Trump. Why do you think it's so important to make what we said Donald Trump's words? Kamala Harris ain't black. That didn't come from Donald Trump. Donald Trump got it from us. It's long been a conversation over here since 2019 and before. This is not a new thing in our community. You made her your presidential candidate and then trying to run her as a black woman. That's the thing that y'all got to deal with, not us. It has nothing to do with it. We don't have to. That's the thing for Janet Jackson. The whole thing with Janet, number one, she's there to promote her concert. I can't stand when people do stuff like that. Damn this political candidate. I'm here to promote my music. I've been in radio interviews like that myself, there to perform at a festival, closing the night, the act of the night. And this idiotic tether starts asking me about this other project that one of my associates partners is tied to, that not me. And instead of talking about the performance I'm getting ready to have, this ignoramus tether is doing the work for these folks over here to start grilling me about some other city project and asking me about, well, we heard about this money. Where's the money going? Who's distributing the money? Only when black folks is involved, everybody starts asking, so when is the money coming? And who's going to cut the checks? And who's going to administer the money? And then who's going to get the money? And where's it going to be spent? I'm literally performing next. But that's what they do. And so what I got to say in this instance, when as far as it goes for Janet Jackson never should have been asked. But all of this grilling that's going on, stop it with Janet. Go at that reporter and the Guardian. They're the one that put that out. They didn't have to. They could have omitted all of that. Them on though, they need, and see Roland Martin and all these people that are trying to go at Janet Jackson. But you need to shut your mouth. She did. There's been no Jackson talking politics at all. She's promoting her tour. Matter of fact, guess who's on her tour? Who, after all of this melee, retweeted her and the tour. Guess who's on the tour? None other than one of the world's greatest known Haitians in Wyclef Jean. He's not tripping. In the midst of people say, oh, well, you should be feeling. Listen, they are entertainers. Let them entertain. Because at the end of the day, I don't see nobody running up to Wyclef Jean, putting a mic in his face, asking him what he feels about Trump's statements about the Haitians up there in Springfield. Go ask that dude. Go ask all these other Haitian artists out here. Go ask, the Afrobeat crowd. That's what they think. Now, you don't never see nobody getting done like that. When it comes down to foundational Black Americans, you think you could just detour the energy from the celebratory time of Janet Jackson doing what she has done for over 30 years at a high level. This woman has been in the game for 40 years. And then you got these Joe Nobodies that are still trying to get a career at the White House talking crap about a Jackson. Y'all sound ridiculous. Well, I knew that there was some illiterate over there in the Jackson. Now they're proving it. So now the Jacksons are illiterate. They done touch more money than you, your mama, daddy, grandparents, and your offspring will see. But however, oh man, you don't like Kamala Harris? You telling the truth? I mean, you saying what I don't want to hear about Kamala Harris? You stupid. Oh, all of you are illiterate. I don't know what's wrong with you. I'll tell you, folks got common sense. And y'all got people out here running around dangerous and reckless. Dangerous and reckless. And then on top of that, think of how things have played out. Let me get this on here for you, because people are flipping absolutely flipping out, and it's amazing to me. But I'm sure you guys have seen, or maybe not, Nancy Pelosi, who, of course, for all intents and purposes, has been running point for the reoccurring regime of puppet masters known as Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, and been, making sure that they take care of their task. And again, I say, that as a speculatory statement. You know, I can't say that for certain that they're calling the shots. Although you've already heard Nancy Pelosi out there, it's her shot that was called that got Joe Biden out the paint. So, you know, there's that. So she's obviously a person that has some juice and pull in D.C. Let's hear how she checks Jake Tapper. Let's check out this little tidbit of information here. Fair use. Again, fair use.
I'm sure that you hear from progressive voters, Democratic voters who say, as I hear from them on social media, the media made such a big deal out of Joe Biden's alleged cognitive problems. Why don't they talk about Donald Trump's cognitive problems? Well, Donald Trump talked about that just a second ago, and I want to get your reaction. Let's run that clip.
They laugh at us all over the world. They're laughing at us. And you know what they're really laughing at? Kamala, because they can't believe that she's going to be president. They can't believe. You talk about cognitive problems. She's got bigger cognitive problems than he has, in my opinion.
Donald Trump saying that Kamala Harris has bigger cognitive problems than Joe Biden.
Why would you even cover that? This is a person who's not on the level. He is their nominee for president. He is incompetent. Let's not even talk about the silliness of it all and the weirdness.
Ma'am, like you just said, and he's not their nominee. He is a nominee. You are on CNN. CNN does not belong to the DNC. They're supposed to be fair, unbiased journalists. And what you just did, Nancy Pelosi, is expose CNN for being fully partisan with the Democrats. Not like we didn't already know, but when you make statements like that live on air, no one has to be confused about the implication of ownership and who they feel responsibility and loyalty to. And she just checks Jake Tapper. Now, why did you cover that? Why did you cover Trump's presidential rally? Because he's a presidential candidate. And so what she's saying, what you're hearing her say, don't play that, because, of course, it doesn't make Kamala Harris look good. But why are you covering that? So, again, not allowing the general public and population of people, voters, to see the truth. It is, again, another tactic of hiding Kamala Harris. That is not a sound candidate. And not only that, though, you saw Joe Biden out twice today. We need to stop this. Everybody can't get out and keep talking for Kamala Harris. If Sleepy Joe can get himself up off of the beach to go make 2 different appearances in a day, you mean to tell me that a man that's not even running no more can be seen more than the person who is running? It's insane. And no one should trust anybody doing that. I know I sure in the hell don't. So again, Billy Porter, look at this. This is a reason why somebody would be and remain undecided. It makes total sense. But there's even more that we'll get to shortly, because again, this is not going to be a long broadcast, but I just wanted to make sure I get these certain key points out. So let's finish up with the sinister Nancy Pelosi.
Of it all and the assault on women that it is. We're not going to talk issues. Incompetent. The only thing he did as president, when he had the majority, was to pass a bill that gave 83 tax cut that gave 83 of the benefits to the top 1%, adding $2 trillion.
Another thing that also did by those tax breaks, because those tax breaks went to employers of low wage earners. They always leave that part out. But then again, they don't talk about low wage earners. They don't talk about the poor. It's middle class. And truth be told, the middle class right now, as it sits, should be actually considered to be poor. Because if you cannot compete with the income of these illegal aliens, they're middle class. You're poor. Before these dynamics have shifted and the United States government under this Democrat Biden and Harris administration, and then now trying to tell you that, hey, black folks, you shouldn't want these people deported. Fire up the doggone jet. Tell me nothing. Oh, well, that means they come get you too. I can't be deported. So as soon as I landed anywhere, they're going to have to get me right back here. I can't be deported. I don't have ties to any of the land. Not that they're honoring. And I think for most black folks are going to be heading across the pond, not over to Mother Africa, because truth be told, some black folks here should still be some of the rightful owners of some of that land over there in Europe. So before we get over here to trying to find our way in the bush, how about we go get them riches and they always want you to forget the money. Forget all the money that you had and that they took from you. No, what you need to do is just go sit off up in there. Go back to Africa and sit up in a hut in Djibouti and eat some bush meat like the Nigerians. I mean, no, I'll pass because I'm not from there. And they know I ain't from there. And they know they don't look at me like that. And there's another video. I might just do another broadcast on that because there's another video I wanted to play about Africans. But that video is like 6 minutes. So I'm going to give that its own space to breathe because I want y'all to take that one in as well. But again, Nancy Pelosi is basically telling you here, shut up and go with the agenda.
To the national debt. The worst job creation record of anybody president since Herbert.
That's not true.
COVID, yes.
Well, it's not because of COVID. We put $3 trillion.
No, it is true. There was a whole government. There was a planetary shutdown. You can't sit up here and say, well, you lost all those jobs. He lost jobs because of COVID. Well, it wasn't because of COVID. Yes, it was. Don't tell us that lie. See, here's the thing. They're trying to rewrite history. I'm really wondering, there might be, for those of y'all who actually did take that jab, are you experiencing extreme memory loss? Because the way that these Democrats are talking to the American public, they talking like you don't remember what happened last year. So is that the case? Let me know.
Into the economy when he was president, working with and the Congress working together. We put $3 trillion into the economy. So don't blame it on. And what did he do with COVID?
That's funny. So wait a minute. So on the bipartisan bill, Joe Biden gets credit for that, but the bipartisan bill that got Americans checked because that had to be the stimulus had to be bipartisan. Well, Congress passed it. It had to pass 2 points to get on his desk. So let's just cut the crap. We're not gonna sit up here and give credit to the Democrats for doing something that is the same situation as the stimulus. And then y'all say, well, he didn't do that. Y'all repeat this. That was Congress that did. You repeat that story. But then did you just hear Nancy? So I'm just saying, if you're going to do the same thing and then start taking credit for it, please don't point out that, oh, he didn't give you them checks. Yes, it was under his administration that it happened. Just like what she just tried to do, it is the exact same thing. So don't talk to me as if I can't recognize your hustle. Just shoot it to me straight. That would be much more commendable. But this going around trying to fool everybody and talking in circles and lying, don't be surprised why people want to sit on the couch. You have an opportunity to be honest with the American people. Be honest or lose. Simple as that. You gave us somebody that nobody voted for. You had a whole political coup in your party and ousted your sitting president. Please don't tell me that he's cool. No, stop it. Y'all got rid of the guy. Republicans didn't get him out. You did. So let's not keep doing this.
Denial and delay.
Denial and delay, I'll say.
Thousands and thousands of people dying.
Oh,
so
Lord.
If you're going to...
that's question. Where those? Hey, D.L. Hughley, where are those millions of black folks that died during that? Man, with all of those people that died, we should have like a memorial somewhere in America to commemorate our time of the greatest plague, sickness in recent history. It seems to me that all of those lost during that time probably should be memorialized. Like there should be a place where all of these names of all the fallen from the sickness that they've repetitively reported that we were dying by the thousands. Well, with that level of death, since when has America not ever sought to honor those people? They put plaques everywhere. Where's the fallen of that CVID? Where is the memorial? The pandemic memorial, where is it? Where's the talk of getting that established? Where's the commission to honor those who passed before Dr. Kismikia could get their medicine to them? I guess that's not important these days, huh?
Forgive his job record because of COVID. Make sure you attribute many of those deaths to him as well.
Not forgiving anything, just noting the context.
Incompetent.
Why is he smiling though? You can attribute those deaths to him, and he's smiling because that is actually kind of funny. Ma'am, you know all them people didn't die. You contribute all those deaths to him. Oh, those made up and padded numbers that you talking about? Got it.
Many of those deaths to him as well.
Not forgiving anything, just noting the context.
Incompetent. Forget silly and crazy and crooked and all the rest. Incompetent.
Incompetent. Not something you usually hear about multimillionaires and billionaires, but whatever. I mean, don't get me wrong. I ain't saying that people can't be incompetent, but the situation that you're referring to actually has to be real. You can't just make it up. That's kind of been where we at with it right now. Let's just make it up. Oh my Lord. And then we're something's wrong with us for not going with this. I mean, Nancy Pelosi looks like she's had multiple nervous breakdowns in her existence, and we're still listening to her. Well, how would you even show that? I mean, why are you even covering that? That's just silly. That's stupid. I didn't get him out because I didn't think he was cognitive. I got him out because I didn't think his campaign could win. Oh, yeah, that's much better, Nancy. Oh, much better. But what does that tell you? That tells you that the current agenda that they had the puppet Biden pushing is still the agenda that they want to push now, which never forget what that agenda is, because we've heard so many times on this broadcast, we're going to hear it one more time.
This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
Yeah, so that's how it started. And this is him this week.
You know, I thought when I got to be president, I'd get to do things that I wanted to do, but my staff tells me what I can't do. But I'm going to do it anyway. All the young women, young kids out there that are out there, come on up and do this when we stand behind me when we do this. Come on.
He's barely getting his words out, man. And that's fine because he's an old man. So I mean, him, having trouble eking them words out, then that's normal for a man his age. So let's keep it a buck. But a couple more things we need to talk about before we get out of here. And I'm going to start I gotta start with the gift that always keeps on giving. I'm sure y'all will recognize the sound of this sassy voice.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Janet Jackson, Janet Jackson, Janet Jackson, Janet. Okay, y'all.
Is he doing... Is it me, or is his slip just starting to show just that much more since that glitch? Let me just go back to the beginning. I'm gonna just play that his first words. Just y'all tell me what you think.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Janet Jackson, Janet Jackson, Janet Jackson, Janet. Okay, y'all. She's the latest black celebrity to spread misinformation about Vice President Kamala Harris. In an interview with The Guardian, y'all, published Saturday, to promote the second leg of her concert.
Now, I'm going to get past that because I want to get to his panel and let you hear what these folks are saying and how fast Negroes can turn on black folks, which this type of stuff is despicable to me. Because number one, everybody, that's like, oh, well, we got a new black police chief. Y'all need to stop talking crap about the police. And what's the difference? Oh, not to mention, Kamala is the top cop. We're literally, you want us to promote a prosecutor. Are you out of your mind? Hell no. And since when have black folks been championing a damn prosecutor? Hey, black men. Here's a win for you black men. We got Kamala Harris here. She's a former prosecutor that, how have you guys always fared out with prosecutors? And you want us to vote for one. I, for one, tell you most definitely that's on my time. Kamala Harris never get my vote. Hell no. I ain't voting for no cop. Like I said, that's on my time. So, I mean, shit. For anybody who's done, had to go sit for a minute, even on a righteous cause, I mean, let's be clear. I'm in a Democratic city. I got the Dred Scott stuff put against me with an admitted self-defense situation. And that's from their so-called victim. He told him, yeah, I attacked him from behind with pepper spray. The white man's not really supposed to lose. So, man, come on, you're going to do some time. We're not even going to ask all the witnesses around here, and then we're going to take whatever story that we feel is likely, and then we're going to take that to the grand jury, secret indictment, grand jury. Don't know why it was secret. And then the public pretender who is leaving the courtroom with the prosecutor. And we're talking about somebody who does that job as being a friend to the black community. You out of your minds. Yo, boy, I could play that song right now for how silly that sounds.
But why your ass talking about it?
Listen to this.
Why didn't you give The Guardian really being stuck on stupid with some of the comments that they're making?
Uh-huh.
It's just dumb.
Uh-huh.
And then it's, so it's going to cause, this going to, I don't, first of all, here's probably the most, honestly, I don't want to answer that because I really truthfully don't know. But why your ass talking about it?
Because she was asked by the reporter who actually disrespected Janet by shifting the conversation into a political sphere where Janet Jackson has never, ever spoke. That is not cool. Y'all don't do that to these white actors. You can sit up here and watch Entertainment Tonight every day, day in, day out. They're not shoving a camera or a microphone into these actors and actresses' face, asking them who they're going to support. Why is it when you get a black artist in front of your face, the very first thing you do is detour from what they're actually there to promote to sit up there and start talking about Kamala Harris? Usher was not on The View to promote Kamala. But there's a segment going, because you're a black man and you're in entertainment, and I think you owe it to her to use your platform and promote her and tell people that Donald Trump's a danger. Then now you have said, this particular candidate is entitled to me, my energy and my platform to promote someone who ain't even as much as bought me a cup of coffee, who won't talk about my community at all, poses as my community, but is offering nothing. What is the point of her being black if she can't say black? If she's not going to do black? What is the point? The point is, being foundational Black American actually right now is the most hot topic on the planet. Again, just flexing the power of the grassroots, because it's so important to have a presidential candidate black. In so many years past, do you understand what these people would go through to hide their background? Actually, they would go through the great lengths to hide their background that Kamala Harris has done now. Only in reverse, because instead here, you don't want people to find out how white they are. And as black as you want to make Kamala Harris, she still hails from slave owners. So what about that slave owner part? Not slave descendant, slave owner. What about that part of Kamala Harris and her lineage? She hails from slave owners. How, and we're not supposed to address that? 10 Caucasian who hails from slave owners. That doesn't sound, and a mother who would put on her paperwork, so she was identifying as Caucasian. There's no black upbringing right there. And say, well, my mother knew that she was raising 2 black girls. That's a lie from Kamala Harris. We know she lies. So yeah, she wrote it in her book. Right now, we're finding out that she was taking a picture with her grandmother in 1990 that died in 1960, 4 years before she was born. But she's telling y'all in her book, that's her grandma. When legitimately her grandmother's birth certificate is obtainable, or death certificate. So no, that's not your grandma in that picture. Who's that lady? The black lady that everybody keeps showing y'all? Yeah, that ain't her grandma, because her grandma wasn't alive when she was born. Her grandma was gone beforehand. And the fact that they're sitting over here holding on to these lies, you think that her and Maya don't know that they're over here under the pretense of a lie. No, come on, man. Let's stop it. But let's hear more of Roland crying.
Why didn't you give the Guardian the same answer you gave me?
Because
so you okay to quote Laura
about politics? Shut up, please.
I can't stand this. Let's get mad at the black person who didn't bring it up, to skip over this Indian woman trying to bait Janet Jackson into supporting Kamala Harris. Because had Janet said, I'm totally on board with Kamala Harris, what would be the big to-do right now? Everybody would be talking about the endorsement for Kamala Harris for Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson's so smart. Janet Jackson's so this. Janet Jackson's so great. But let me show you Roland Martin's face right now. Let me just show you this dude's face. Because, you know, when people talk about protect black women and you got to protect black women, you hate black women, and you just, how are y'all black women allowing this black woman bashing going on? Oh, I don't know. Well, let's make it okay. You know what we'll do next? Let's get a black woman on to bash her too.
Because you look like a damn fool.
She looks like a damn fool.
Julian, go.
Ooh. Well, I hate to quote Laura Ingraham, who told some brothers to shut up and dribble. But I would tell Janet Jackson, shut up and sing, girl.
Just notice what's behind her left shoulder. Enough said.
That you okay at that. You ain't that good at that either, but you're okay at that. You can sing. But do not get yourself involved in politics because you don't know what you are talking about.
Again, see how they keep doing that? And they're using Janet Jackson as a proxy. Because again, they keep avoiding talking about the reporter that even asked her this question. Janet Jackson has never put herself in a political sphere. So why would this reporter be mentioning anything about politics while this interview that Janet Jackson is doing is about her career, and her tour? Why isn't this woman, instead of asking about how her family is healing and dealing with the loss of her oldest brother, Tito, one of the icons? There's a whole lot in that interview that actually could have been discussed about the Jacksons. You actually have a Jackson in front of you. And you're asking a Jackson about Kamala Harris? That shouldn't even have been within the first day of you talking. So to have an interview to where you're trying to shoehorn Kamala Harris in as a talking point, but then because it goes so south, then this ends up being the tone of what you wrote. Number one, let me say that this interview probably wasn't going to be good for Janet in the first place because this woman had ulterior motives. No one is talking about that, but you got these buck-broken, tap-dancing Sambo idiots that are sitting up here neglecting the fact that the Guardian, number one, put it out, and that woman right there that was interviewing her knew that it wasn't a political interview. You're talking entertainment. So to even put Janet in that position is on them. So to have these idiot Negroes coming out here talking about how off and stupid she is, shame on y'all coons. And y'all the worst kind of traitor because now y'all are covering for a white publication. You covering for the Indian woman writer just so you can bash this black woman. You won't put any responsibility where it actually lies. Janet Jackson did not bring up politics. And they do that mess to folks, and you doing it to black folks just so you could turn around and start talking negative about black folks in the public view. All of these people are disgusting.
And like you said, she lived in California. She knew the sister was black. She knew she was here.
How do you know that? She lived in California, so she knew that this sister was black. No, she didn't. That woman has been Indian, jumping over here, jumping over there, and not to mention, it's California. One thing that goes on a lot in California, Miss Malvo, that I'm pretty sure you might have heard a time or two in your life. One major part of California is acting. So you think half them politicians ain't actors too? I mean, hell, this woman is cosplaying black. She's already came out and tried to pose herself off as a descendant of slaves. That's Kamala Harris doing that herself. That's her posing the charade. She's not a foundational black American. So cut it out.
Attorney General, I just want to know who's paying her bills, because that's what it boils down to. You cannot be jackass. I try not to cuss on your show, just so I don't emulate you, but I do cuss a lot. But you show yourself up to be a total jackass.
Because she's saying that Kamala Harris ain't black, now she's a total jackass who doesn't have the wherewithal to even pay her own bills? What is wrong with these Negroes? And this is the type of crap I'm talking about. Roland Martin, Julianne Malvo, y'all ain't shit. This type of disdain for other black folks is ridiculous.
What is wrong with you? And why are you doing this now? And they're going to be...
No, what's wrong with you? Because you coming out here over a political candidate. This woman's an entertainer. She should never been put in that box of space. Why wasn't her boundaries respected? Black people do not inherently belong to the Democrat Party. Black people do not inherently owe the Democratic Party our support. Stop talking to black people as if the plantation we're owned by is the Democratic Party. And now this is what really gives breath to when people say the Democrat plantation. Y'all see how y'all acting right now? Man, y'all better get in there, and I don't even understand how you over here making Massa upset. And y'all just want to do something for another Massa. I mean, Massa. This is our good mistress here. She's done been real good to us. And you trying to come along here and mess it all up for us good ones. Now, she see us as good now. And what we want you to do is you need to get out there and convince the other folk that they need to get along too. This ain't nothing but mammy and buck broken Negro positions wagging their fingers at the field slaves.
Be some young people and some stupid people who are going to emulate you, and you need to dial it back. You just need to dial it back. People.
That part right there. Did you catch that? Did you hear what she just said?
Boils down to, you cannot be jackass. I try not to cuss on your show, Roland, just so I don't emulate you, but I do cuss a lot. But you show yourself up to be a total jackass. What is wrong with you? And why are you doing this now? And there are going to be some young people and some stupid people who are going to emulate you, and you need to dial it back.
There's going to be some young people and some stupid people that emulate you. Dr. Malvo, since we are talking about the influence of a Janet Jackson, those stupid people that you're referring to are Black Americans. This is how they talk about Black Americans. Yes, they're Black. And this is how they talk about us. When you hear voices of the new black media tell you that these people hate black people, I hope you are hearing it. Because, and this also is jealousy too, because we're talking about a Jackson. All of a sudden, these people on the Black Star Network elevated themselves in their minds to be in a position to where they felt they could ridicule a Jackson. Well, nobody's like, what was it? Van Lathan, that used to be on TMZ. He also came out. Nobody's above reproach. Hey, man, when it comes to the Jacksons, Luther Vandross, shut your ass up. We're not doing that for outsiders ever. Shut your punk ass up. And I would imagine, family, it's time to take the gloves off and stop talking nice to these folks, because this is right here cannot be tolerated, and we have a serious problem in-house with Negroes like this, and no more talking nice. You up here calling black folks stupid that you want to support your candidate. So before they even give your candidate support, you're already calling them stupid. Boy, oh boy, a recipe to lose is go ahead and turn things over to shills like this. Democrats, hope you're listening. This will be why you lose terribly. And so just don't look at Kamala Harris. With this type of attitude and energy coming out here, especially with Janet Jackson, this damages your entire ticket. Believe me now or believe me later on in the future.
You just need to dial it back. People have admired you for years. We think whatever. We've admired you for years, even though you've been a little bit stupid about some stuff. But frankly, no, this is not your platform. Go sit someplace and sang something unusual, but don't talk this mess. I'm like totally over it. I'm like you. I'm totally over
it. And here's Janet Jackson's, not to make her an old woman, but Janet Jackson's mid-50s, still touring and dancing and singing and all of that. While y'all look like y'all got medicine cabinets full of medicine. I think D.L. Hughley has something to say to her because he can't afford plastic surgery, or he's just too fearful to go under the knife himself because his face looked like he got beat down with a sack of crack rocks. But anyway, then he smoked them. But going back to Dr. Malvo here, which Yvette Carnell, this kind of looks like the future. Just saying. With that being said, I just wanted to play a little bit of that, and then there's this other dude who also chimes in. Where is he at? Okay, yeah. This fella here, which let me see if you guys can tell when I change the screen here. Does it look the same? Are we feeling the same energy here? So here's Dr. Omekongo Dabinga. And so he's going to have something to say with his Nigerian ass about Janet Jackson, I guess. Maybe he'll say, oh, I ain't Nigerian.
Guess what? You're going to get called out. Go ahead, Omekongo.
Yeah, so much for, all of the peace and Rhythm Nation and all of that other type of stuff she was singing about. This is another reminder that our entertainers are not our leaders unless they...
It's funny. Entertainers are not our leaders. Then why the hell are they talking about Taylor Swift?
They choose to get out there and do the work. I'm thinking of, the John Legends of the world. The people who are out.
John Legend? You're making rep... Mm-mm. references the people who were on that flight list? No diddy.
They know what they're talking about, engage in activism. And Janet Jackson, it's funny how this Trump campaign, all of his campaigns, all three of them, have really destroyed people's legacies. Like people who normally didn't say nothing, try to come out and be on this side or that side and just manifested their ignorance in ways that Janet did.
No, Trump ain't destroyed nothing. You did. That's you Democratic shills going out on the warpath doing the dirty work, lambasting other black folks for a party that don't do shit for black folks. That's you doing that. So don't blame Trump. That's you. You coon tap dancing Sambo ass Negroes. This is you doing this. And don't tell me that there is never going to be a party that will have me besmirching other black folks in public with a bunch of folks for a bunch of people who do not look like me nor come from my culture or background. I'll be damned if I sell my soul to the devil to do some wicked, low level crap like this.
Is doing. And to let this happen and go on for 3 days, like you said, and not issue any apology,
she don't have to issue an apology. Here's the thing that they keep forgetting. Janet Jackson is a black woman, comes from a black woman. She don't have to accept Kamala Harris as a black woman. That is the truth that the world must accept.
This is the non-apology apology, right? Meaning that by her not saying anything, she's fueling the flames of more ignorance and disrespect towards Vice President Harris. But another thing I want to talk about is that
she ain't black, and she ain't black. Okay. And that's coming from the grassroots. She ain't black. And now that more information is coming about her not being black, she ain't black. So I don't know what you're going to do.
Vice President Harris's lineage is actually an opportunity for us to reframe the conversation about how we look at race. Because the fact of the matter is that you can't be half black and half Indian, right? Like black is a race, Indian is a nationality.
Indian is a race, idiot. Hindu, South Asian Indians is a race, buddy. Jamaican is a nationality. Jamaican is not a race. You see what he did there? So Julia Malvo just talked about stupid people a minute ago. This is what he just tried to run. He just tried to run a hustle on you. He trying to make it seem as being Jamaican is a race, which it's not. It's nationality. And being Indian is a nationality versus being a race. He gave it to you backwards. This guy is full of shit.
She is a Black American woman of Indian and Jamaican heritage.
That's impossible. She's a Black American woman with Indian and Jamaican heritage. Where does the American part come in at, genius? For her being born a citizen? That doesn't tie her to our culture. See, that's tether semantics. That is moist tether semantics. And let me let him finish, and then I'm gonna go on somewhere because all this crap he's spewing is too much.
Like religion, like saying you have British and half Muslim or something, right? So her beautiful heritage gives us an opportunity to really reframe and understand race a little bit better in America. It should be it should be an opportunity for a conversation as opposed to all of this argument and all of this ignorance and all this hate at a woman who is just like Julian Bond said, if you dissect America, let her spell out I am race. So really at the end of the day, what you're doing, Roland, what Dr. Margot's talking about, like all of us can use her heritage as an opportunity to reframe the conversation. And all of these folks who are staying ignorant out there, and if you're not going to come out and apologize and recognize how wrong you are, then we have no choice but to call you out, no matter how much we love your music. That does not.
I hope that energy is the same when all of you who have came out and said how Black this woman is. I hope that because when you're talking about, well, you should be called out and they should be called out and this person should be called out when you're wrong. And then you should come out and apologize for being wrong. Well, are you guys going to do the same when people actually have to lay down real information on you and show you that, once again, here's evidence and proof that this woman is not black? Not only that she ain't black, but that she has went through great lengths to actually hide her true origin. Here's one thing you could do, even Roland Martin, Malvo, and the other weird tether. What y'all can do is produce her California driver's license. Those vital statistic records, things like that. She could dispel those myths herself, couldn't she? By showing us what she puts down on her paperwork. We don't even know that she puts black down on her paperwork. You just have these overly aggressive, moist Negroes coming out here. She's black. You sound crazy. Stop with the shaming. This woman ain't black. None of us have to accept her. And if you don't like that, hey, Roland Martin, FBA. No, you can kiss our black ass, Roland. Nobody give a shit about what you're talking about. Matter of fact, ain't you tired of getting ran up on because nobody give a shit about what you're talking about? You over here with a whole woman in your face. Give back. Shut up, coward. And stop talking about real men when you ain't one. Now go ahead and you backboneless bastard. Shut up and stop talking about black folks like we ain't nothing. Black folks in America have an exceptional history. And to sit up here and act like we got to sit up here back in this cosplaying chameleon Caucasian, and you going to sit up here and besmirch black folks and black history, calling black folks stupid, illiterate? No, not at all, man. And on top of that, you wrong for doing that anyway, let alone doing it for these people. But to be out here on a national broadcast talking crazy about black folks when you ain't going to push that same energy on them white folks, especially even the woman who penned the letter. She didn't have to write that. You never had to know. So why did the Guardian put it out? What responsibility does the Guardian have, Roland? Oh, but you ain't crossing them lines, huh? This is why people running down on you, you soft sucker. Because of stuff like this. We see the truth in you, weak nigga. This is Roland Martin, a coward. And him and people of his ilk, Greg Carr, all you Pan-African wussies. You will not stand up to the truth when you see the white men. You tell us about how we're serving the white men, well, then call them out. Call them out. Call the Guardian out. But shut your punk ass up talking on black folks like this. This is crazy. But with that being said, Roland Martin, Silly Porter, Julianne Malvo, Akawaka Wende, this little tidbit is just the tip of the iceberg. Shout out to Candace Owens for being the broken clock that was right today. Because you guys is getting ran down by Candace Owens. This is how much you suck.
And I just made a discovery. Kamala Harris. Black? African American? No. Indian? Yeah. Partially. Irish white? Yeah. The picture of her grandmother that she had in her book? No. Number one, as Candace Owens pointed out, that she would have been dead before her grandmother, or her grandmother would have been dead before Kamala would have been born. Her grandmother allegedly died in 1960. Kamala was born in 1964. Or that's what she's saying anyway. And it has a picture of this very dark-looking lady. Has some...
That's her grandma.
Scarring or some sort of deformities there on the face, and that's not her grandmother. But here is her grandmother.
Nope.
Meet Burl, a white name. Christy.
That's Donald's mom,
Harris.
y'all.
Maiden name, Finnegan. Also notice she looks a lot older than 39 or 42. why would she lie about her grandmother's age or maybe when she died? Maybe hiding it because she's white. Maybe she's still alive. Probably not, because her father was born in 1938, makes him old enough as it is. But we're going to show you some pictures of her father, too. And he doesn't look anything like the very dark, complected lady that Kamala has that picture with.
No, he does not. And for all intents and purposes, for those of you who will say, "Oh no, that's not her," yeah, I actually came across those pictures a while ago. So yeah, the old white lady with the glasses, that's Donald Harris's mother. That's for all of you who are wondering why I was saying he was mixed, and I keep saying at best she's a quarter black, because that is Donald Harris's mother. I don't know where that black woman come from. No, the old white, look at her face. He looks just like his mother. That's what's so crazy. So, hey, man. Stupid. Will you tell me why the hell he looked like this white woman? Now, I guess you can do all the searching you want to over his daddy, but you know one thing about his daddy's family was the slave owners in Jamaica. Can you tell me that you actually had black slave owners in Jamaica around that brown town? The town that they established because they were so wealthy slave owners? I don't think so. When we tell you we got this one dead to right, we got this one dead to right, baby. She ain't black. And why would Janet Jackson think she was Caucasian? Because that white woman you just looked at is her grandmother. Not the black. And people really putting that picture up of that black woman like that's her grandma. I was trying to figure out, well, whose mother is that supposed to be? Because I know what Christy Burrow looked like. And y'all just saw that white woman. I think they've been doing some scrubbing off the internet. That's why when you have an inkling about something, before you say it publicly, go get the screenshots, go get the pictures, and make sure you get the date and time if you have it in there, because these folks are going behind and they're altering things. But this one's pretty damn damning. And I've been looking at it. Man, this is her mother. It's not. Family, you know how much I'm sitting on that I could legitimately prove the majority of everything that this woman has said is a lie. She still tells the lie that she's a teenager when her mom bought her house. Kamala Harris was born in 1964. They moved in 1975. How the hell are you a teenager? She gives the impression that she was in high school. So it gives you the way she tells her story, it gives you the impression that she was always in Oakland at the time when they got their house. That house, and for all the people who have the paperwork on her mother down payment on the house, she was making a down payment on her house from Berkeley, California to Toronto, Canada. So all of this middle class crap, I don't know anybody who has enough money to buy a house out of the country. Who got that? And why there? Why would you not stay in Oakland? Why did you need to go to Canada? Well, because her sister was in Canada and it was a big Indian community in Canada. So like I said, Janet Jackson wasn't wrong. This woman is a cosplaying tan Caucasian. That is all you get with Kamala Harris. So that's why she would say, when talking about reparations.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Simple as that, family. It is simple as that. So silly Billy Porter These are the reasons why some people are undecided, but very clear they aren't voting for Kamala Harris. And as for you, Billy, Roland, Malvo, and all of you others, D.L. Hughley, and all of you that got something negative to say about Janet for speaking the truth. None of you are rushing out here to show Donald Harris's true mother. Why? Because he literally looks like his mama. That white woman. Ouch. So why did Kamala put the black woman in the photo as that was her grandmother in Jamaica? The Jamaican grandmother for Kamala Harris is a white woman. And so all of you get one of these.
Sambo, Sambo, Sambo.
And why do y'all get one of these?
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
At all. So with that being said, family, what do we know around these parts?
How can black people rise up and overcome?
Get out and vote?
That is incorrect. I'm sorry.
Damn right it is. And with that, closing with our elder, because we have some work to do in our own house.
Good evening, Dr. Clark. I really would like you to tell me what's the best way to handle an African American that gets in the way of the liberation of African Americans. I believe in this unity, and I'd love to love all of them, embrace them. Please tell me how to do it strategically.
Put space between you. Don't try to reform him. Give him the information. Hope that he will use it. If he don't use it, then don't waste time letting him obstruct the movement. People who don't believe in themselves can't believe in you and can't help you. It's heartbreaking to know that there are some of us we have to write off so the rest of us can survive.
Babylon is fallen. Babylon is fallen. Let it fall. And let us rise. Can you dig it? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for tuning in to the Midweek Report. This has been Silly Billy Porter and the news on Kamala's family tree. Or is it a tail? And it's shaping up to be that latter now, isn't it? Looking like a big old fib. But then again, Miss Freedom has been known to tell these whoppers. Hasn't she? I mean, she's worse than Hillary Clinton when it comes down to the bald-faced line. But there's some ignorant individuals out there. But truth be told, I don't believe all of y'all are ignorant. I just believe y'all this.
Buck dancing, shuffling, scratching, bootlicking, bamboozling, Uncle Tom Negro.
And so with that being said, and you filling those shoes, all I could do is either write you off, but these words in passing, that ain't going to end well for your family. And I'm sure that there's some of you out there that be like, man, what you mean? Man, the Democrats this, the Democrats that, and the Democrats this, that, and the other. We are Black Americans, foundational Black American freedmen, the descendants of chattel slavery. We are owed a certain debt because our people are exceptional. We have no business letting anyone, especially questionable, possible outsiders, coming around us, besmirching our great legacies here. Let's just remember Hip Hop 50. They were trying to rewrite our history. how much more so is it an opportunity to go at a Jackson? Well, for all the people who think that you should, everybody, ain't nobody beyond reproach and this and that, well, then go check Kamala Harris for all of this lying that she keeps doing. Project 2025 is not a thing. No folks are scared of it. Let's stop talking about it. What's she going to do in reverse of her comments about doing nothing for black folks? That's what I want to hear. And I know some of you be like, man, that ain't important. Well, to you, I say, I speak for myself. Beatzilla PDX official, Beatzilla PDX official show. Those of you in the chat, the grassroots, and the voices of new black media, I am certainly sure to say I speak for all parties involved when we proudly dedicate this song to you.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at beatzillapdx. You can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined to put some money in the bucket, you can definitely do so by way of Cash App. That's $ beatzillapdx. And we also have PayPal, which is Zilla Music. That is ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we have came to the end of another broadcast. And once more, thank you for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts for the replay gang. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments. And Silly Billy Porter had his questions answered tonight from one Beatzilla PDX official. And so if you are also choosing the couch, then what are your plans for couch voting this year? Well, what are your couch voting plans? What is your couch voting itinerary? You're going to be watching movies. You're going to be watching TV, games. It's going to be, what is it going to be? Are you going to watch the results? If you guys are out there and you're going to be couch, on November 5th, you're going to be surfing it on the couch. Then, let me know what your plans are. What are you guys making? You guys doing wings? It's going to be a nacho night. Or is it going to be Taco Tuesday? Could be Taco Tuesday. That might work for you. But whatever you do, remember this right here. Hashtag hands off our reparations.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
That never gets old. So with that being said, family, y'all stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yeah. See, that's what you throw. Yes, right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.